just wanted to do a quick intro slash disclaimer that I thought about while doing some editing, only because Crow Country is obviously a spooky horror game, so I just wanted to let you know that there won't be any sudden jump scares or loud noises. There are some sort of sudden things that happen in the game, but I don't think I'd say they're jump scares. I don't think the visuals are too shocking. And yeah, I'll make sure that if there are any loud or sudden noises, that they aren't too loud or too sudden, just because I want to keep it as much as possible to be relaxing, if that even works for this kind of game. Anyway, that's everything. Yeah, it's not going to be too scary. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, and welcome back to Crow Country, Crow Country, Crow Country. I have been looking forward to playing this again, so I've found the chance to get back into it. It's not a huge deal, but I finished last time and I just completely ignored the fact that I would have to actually go somewhere to save it. So I lost the small amount of progress that I made, which is fine. I really wasn't that far in, so I just had to quickly run back to where I was, and hopefully I did all the same things, including intentionally standing on the bear trap again. So, just after I finished the recording last time, I came back into the main area, the central area, and saw just a couple things, including this healing item. So I'll grab that, and this panel on the back of the crow. So let me investigate. It says the wooden panel looks a little different, so let me try and move it. It's fallen off to reveal a red switch, which can be pressed. Let's go ahead and press it. Oh, that's opened. Looks like two more switches either side of the crow's house. It's a control panel. There's a button and it says Crow Turntable Control. So I could press it, and it's spun the crow around. On the back of the crow there is a metal hatch. Let's open it. There's a large empty slot in the back. Well, I don't have anything to put in there, so we'll just have to remember that for later. And the other side, the button is for the crow walking sequence. Let's press that too. It needs to be facing the other way. Okay, let's go ahead and spin him around and get him walking out of the house. I'm not sure what good it will do us just now, but it's worth a try, right? Oops. just remember that we could do that when we get the crow some power. So if we head back to the fairy tale town, we finished off last time just having helped Arthur Mole, the journalist who was investigating the monsters here. He was injured and we gave him a small medpack and took him back to the car. So let's run on over to where he was. Okay, he was just here against the barrel and it looks like there's something he was sat on. There's a note on the floor. I guess Arthur wrote this. It says, Tree Lady 3184. Perfect. Perfect. We were looking for that code. For the tree fairy. There's a big door to the theatre. Oh, it's locked. Well, not locked. Mara seems to think it's blocked from the other side. Okay. So, a few things to look at over here, including an old cigarette machine. But it says I'm not allowed to smoke. That's interesting. I wonder why. I think by the dates, Mara was 25, was it? 25, I think. So it's not age related. Anyway. Okay, we know this tip already. It's that if we shoot the enemies from up close, we'll do some more damage. And what does this one say? Okay, perfect. More damage from a headshot. And one more note. This one says, read the staff memos posted on walls around Crow Country. In every safe room, there is a book containing all the staff memos you've read so far. That's helpful to know. We have been reading all the memos. Okay, there is a room here. There is a sign, sort of like a no entry sign next to it, but okay. Oh, we've gone in, and it's horrifying in here. It's very grim, and I heard an awful moan. Okay. I wish I wasn't here, but we have a job to do, so let's... Oh! Look at that! Okay, there's a monster, let's... see if we can take it out with a few shots. Is there two? We actually have a decent amount of ammo, so... should we try and get a good look? Okay, they come at me quite quickly. Okay, let's quickly reload and... let's there's a note taped to the lid of the box. It says, "Ship to Marvin Trumbull, 1806, Acara River, in Para, Brazil, South America, 66010-020. Contents, samples of geological interest." And it's full of rocks. Each one is embedded with pieces of shiny metal. Is this a crate full of gold ore? What a funny thing to find in a theme park. There's a memo nearby. It says, "The fire marshal was here this morning. She said the following rooms are due for inspection: the Crow's Lounge Northwest, the Model Railway Central, the Utility Corridor Southeast, the Submarine West, Crow's Office Northeast, Wednesday Underground, Crow's Lab Underground. She also said we need to replace the Ocean Kingdom storeroom door." There's some funny sounding locations there. That's my bad. That whole time I didn't have my flashlight on. It's a staff memo. I found another one that says, "Can I ask why the dig site access is that cute little house? Don't you think there's a chance that some kid would want to go looking in there? At the very least, let's keep it locked via the keyhole on the mailbox." Okay, so that was the adorable small house that we found, and it seems like that's the entrance to the dig site. I found a vent. Is there something inside? Mara says. Okay, I don't know whether it's worth trying to shoot. It didn't say it was sort of rusted or anything like that. Let's leave it for now. We'll try and remember. And nothing on this wall. Okay, if we're ready, let's carry on deeper. Okay, this is a lot nicer. Wow. Oh, this is so cozy. I love this. I hope this is the save room. This would be perfect. Okay, so I'm not using the old-fashioned controls just yet. Maybe it's worth a try, but it says if you're using the D-pad to move, you can do a 180-degree quick turn by pressing down on the D-pad and B at the same time. There's a nice cold soda vending machine. I remember the last one we tried to use. We had to kick and nothing came out. Yeah, no change on me, so the only option is to either leave it or kick it. And there's a notebook. Let's examine. It says, "Tolman's Records, March 21st, 1988. Monday morning, driving to work. Boss calls into my car radio. He doesn't normally do that. Something has obviously gone wrong. Intruder alarm going off in the second unit. Boss thinks someone is down there. Get to work. Check the security cameras. Someone is down there. He's standing right by the pool. All the security doors down to the pool are locked. Check security records. Doors untouched since 6 p.m. on Friday. Alarm has only just been triggered. I turn on the intercom, try to communicate. No response. But I can hear the sound he's making. Something is wrong. His clothes don't fit him. Something is very wrong. Oh. I'll try not to let that ominous note ruin the cozy atmosphere in this room. Okay, I found a cabinet and it looks like there's a lock on here. there's a keypad. We've got the digits 1 to 9, but we don't have a code to put in it. There's a ring-bound book. It's a collection of staff memos. Okay, so moving through these, I can see we've got number 1, number 2, number 3, and then it jumps to number 6, and then to number 10, then 11, and then number 36, and back to number 1. Okay, we're missing some. We'll keep an eye out for that. There's a lovely crackling fire with some sparkles right in front of it. Let's examine. The fire is crackling softly, crackling softly, crackling softly. Staring into the flames, I feel something. It's a curious mixture of hope and dread. Maybe everything will be okay. I'm sure it will. I'm sure everything will be okay. And maybe it won't. Mara thinks. Okay, so if I went just a little bit further, I would have saved myself a little bit of time. That's okay. Oh, and is this a map? It shows the surrounding area. I'll take that. I've now obtained the map. Okay, it's in the menu. Right, so we've just been down the utility corridor. The swan boats have a red circle around them. That was where we found the broken swan boat control and the note that said it would accept anything egg-shaped. I wonder if there's any other reason why it's circled. The key confirms that it's just because it's an unsolved puzzle. Right. And there's a magazine here. It's a collection of video game tips. Let's read it. Megabyte magazine tips and tricks. You can hold down B or right trigger to run. These are the tips we already know, and we have numbers 1 to 5, and then we're missing 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Maybe we'll try and find those. Okay, and there's a memo on this notice board. It says, remember to get into the fairy pond area. Say this out loud to the fairy. Hear me, oh great fairy of fairest forest. It's pretty sensitive. It won't work if you have an accent. Sorry, Diego. Oh no, I wonder if it will work with my accent. We'll find out soon enough, I think. Mara says the fairy, the one in the tree in Fairy Tale Town, couldn't hurt to try. What was it again? Hear me, oh great fairy of fairest forest. Okay, we'll try and remember that. There is some antidote to pick up, and a letter on the coffee table. It says, State Court, 185 Central Avenue, SW, Atlanta, GA 30303, United States. Legal summons. Dear Mr. Crow, as you know, a 15-year-old girl by the name of Elaine Marshall was injured. The incident occurred within your premises and within working hours. As such, the Marshall family is holding you personally responsible. Your presence is required in court. We expect to hear from you immediately. Sincerely, G. Williams, State Court. Okay, so I'm assuming that the girl died in the theme park. Okay, Mara inspected an ashtray and said that she was surprised the whole place hadn't burned down. Okay, we've got a medkit and there's a bookshelf to examine. There are some books. Mining Your Own Business. Economics of the Mining Industry. Joseph J. Garden. Sorry. Looks like that's the only book we can investigate. So it seems mining was a very big deal in this theme park for some reason. Now we're going to go back into the utility hallway, but I'm a little bit concerned that the monsters might have come back. We'll take it slow and keep our eyes peeled. We also did... Oh, goodness. Something just jumped out of the vents. Let's try and deal with them. Oh, the aiming is a little bit... Oh, I wonder if it's even worth wasting bullets on them. It might be better just to run past them, but... Well... I'd already started, so... In for a penny, in for a pound. Okay, so they jumped suddenly out of this vent. It's the vent that burst open, but it's too dark to see, and there's an awful smell coming from inside. Right. So, we're back to Fairy Tale Forest. Uh-oh. I think one of the monsters we found in the utility hall has found its way out. Okay, this place is full of monsters. Let's... Oh, need to reload. I am not doing exceptionally well on ammo, so I think I'm going to try and conserve it a bit. But there's some strange piles of goo moving towards me, and I think it might be worth ignoring them. Oh, but they're stood right on top of the letter with the code for the fairy, and I've forgotten it. Okay, let's try and lure them away. Come on over here, little goo things. Alright, let's take this chance to run on round. posted on walls around Crow Country. In every save room there is a magazine containing all the gameplay tips you've read so far. We've already found that. There's an engraved message near this dirty pond. Those who seek the truth stare into the pure reflective water of our fairy pond. It doesn't look that pure or reflective. Let's examine the water. It's filthy. Okay, I do kind of spot a little circular patch on the tree across the pond. Maybe shooting it would do something, but I think I need to save my bullets. There's a curtain on this wall. I think there's something behind it. Let's move the curtain. We found a pump mechanism, and that looks a little bit low. There's a dial and a lever. Let's pull the lever. A wrong lever. Okay, Okay, so the room is filling up with gas. This is not good. I have to turn off the ventilation. Ventilator override, do not touch. And we're gonna push it to turn off the ventilation. So, that wasn't good. We're poisoned now, but luckily I have a few bottles of antidote on me, so. And there's a bottle of antidote in the corner of the room as well. Right, let's not use that lever until we know how to properly use it. Well, there's a valve to be tightened. I've tightened it and it's now... I can tighten it repeatedly. Right. When I tighten it... should have known. When I tighten it, it sprays some potentially hot steam out from the side. It looks like... Okay, interesting. It looks like by tightening it, it raises the pressure on this pump mechanism. I wonder if I tighten it and run on over, will the pump be in the perfect position not to break the ventilation? Before I do anything, I think I need to heal. Yeah. Okay, I'm fine now. I don't think it would hurt to read this memo before we do anything though. It says, so, the guy who fixed the water filter did it by running it through the air ventilation system. If you run the filter pump behind the curtain with the incorrect pressure too high or too low, it'll trigger the ventilator. Be careful. You can tighten up the pressure using the valve handle. So I think that's what we'd assumed anyway, but it's good to confirm it. Now if I tighten this valve and keep an eye on the pump. Okay, every time I tighten it, it raises the pressure, so we're gonna overshoot it and run on over. And pull the lever at just the right time to drain the pond. let's take the key. It's the bronze key which will open up the small house, which we now know leads to the mines. And I think it also opens up the gift shop. Either the gift shop or the model railway. Okay, some good progress there then. Before we head back out to the fairy tale forest, there is an ominous looking hallway. I'm hesitant to go down it, but let's take a chance. Okay, it's opened up into a fairly bright looking room. Let's reload before we do anything. Oh, not doing so well with bullets. We have 8 in the handgun and 1 spare. Let's try and keep them as much as we can then. Did you see that? Did you see that? The door over the other side of the room closed as we got closer. Okay, well, let's look in the trash can while we're here. Oh, okay, I forgot about the grenades. Oh, how was it that we used them again? Shall we quickly check the controls? I think it could be useful considering we're running a bit low on ammo. It says grenade is the X button. I think while aiming that would be. We'll keep that in mind and try it if we have to. Okay, so the room we're in is sort of backrooms-esque. It's a bit liminal. I usually love liminal spaces, but this one is creepy. There's a staff memo on the wall that says, "Who took the Ocean Kingdom restaurant trident? That thing is expensive, and without it we can't do the Happy Birthday Sea Monster song. Someone said they saw it in the Witchwood. I'd go check, but that place gives me the creeps, honestly. Trident in the Witchwoods, okay. There's a slight indent on that wall, something to investigate maybe. Let's walk up to this door and potentially be prepared for something to jump out. Okay, we're safe this time. And we'll try again with this indent. It just says there's a panel on the wall. Let's open it. Oh, there's a model of a crow with robot parts. Let's read the note that comes with it. The very last time I went to the theatre with Ophelia, we saw an action movie about a cybernetic man from the future. I didn't really get it, but she loved it. She wouldn't stop talking about it. I got to work designing this cyborg crow, since I thought she'd like it. I was going to propose it to Edward as a new themed area of the park. After I lost Ophelia, I shelved the project. Let's take a closer look. We're shoving our face right up into it. It says, I think the eye is made from a laser sight. Let's take it, although we already have one for our handgun. We found a magnum laser. nothing is on fire, so the fire extinguisher is currently useless. Useless. I'll take these shotgun shells. Okay, what a strange room. Oh, I see a little area marked with an X on the wall. I don't know if it's worth wasting a bullet to shoot, though. Okay, we've got 9. Why not? Why not? Why not? Test it out. We'll try and line it up and give it a shot. Either I missed or there's just nothing there. I don't have the bullets to try again, though. Let's replenish and head back out. So that was quite a curious room. There is now a monster in the pond room. Let's just run straight past. Goodbye, monster. Goodbye, monster. I wonder whether running past all of this might just be the best tactic. Or I wonder whether that will come back to bite me when I get stuck and I'm being chased by every monster in the area. Okay, so we have the bronze key, which we could use on the small post box. But I think before I do that, I'd like to run back into the central area. Run back into the central area and try it out on the, I think it's the model railway. So, let's hop straight past all of this. Okay, that was pretty successful. Right. Oh, we're back into the central area, but there's a horrible noise now. It's sort of like a rattling. Like a rattling. Oh no. I see some long legs in the distance. Well, we don't need to go that way. Okay, we'll skirt around that fella. And on to our destination. Oh, I smelt an antidote in the corner. Okay. When we go to head back to the fairy tale forest, we're gonna run past him just to have a quick look. So the gift shop is blocked from the other side. And the model railway has the bronze keyhole. Let's use our bronze key. It's unlocked, and we can now head into the model railway. Okay. We're now in a dimly lit room with some mechanical clouds moving and a railway line through the center. This looks like it could be a puzzle. Let's have a look around. Okay. These books look like they could shut. There's nooks that they're in. Let's have a look at them. Oh, how strange. Is this a save room? This is a collection of staff memos. Here's a portrait. Is this Mr. Crow? No, this is Douglas Pike, the builder. And who's this? This is Natalie Crow, Autumn's child. is a memo on the wall that reads, "The computer systems in both the railway room and the dungeon now need the security disk to access. Yes, I know, it's inconvenient, but these are the new regulations." Well, I do spot the computer behind this curtain, and a crackling fire in a porthole on the wall. Let's have a look and see if we can save. Yes, I feel a mixture of hope and dread, and it lets me save. Perfect, perfect. Well, let's take a look at this computer, although I'm expecting not to be able to do anything until I get that security disk. Yeah, I get access denied, but there is a slot for a disk. And what's behind this curtain? It's a notebook. It says Tolman's Records, March 23rd, 1988. I can't remember whether the other notebook was set before or after this. Looks like the other notebook was before, because this notebook reads, "The intruder is contained in the lab. Boss is calling him the guest. I told him that was in poor taste, but it stuck. Offered guest food and water. He took no notice of either. I can't begin to describe what's wrong with him. Boss doesn't want to call an ambulance. He doesn't want to call anyone. I suggested we shut down all root excavation, just until we work out what's happened. Boss says we can't shut down just yet, so the machines are back on. I have a bad feeling. I think we're about to make things worse." You and me both, Tolman. Let's read this magazine page. It says, "Tips and tricks. There's no reason you have to defeat enemies, but if you leave them, you may have a harder time traveling around later on." Okay, so maybe that's implying that the enemies we're seeing don't respawn. We'll keep that in mind. Perfect. Perfect. More handgun ammo. We needed that. I wonder what else is going on in this room. We can investigate the engine of the train. Oh, no, there was a grenade stuck in the steam pipe. I'm not sure what that's called. And there's a plaque, a sign on this side that says, "Orion's Odyssey 1935. Our grandest steam engine, elegantly combining all four design styles. During the war, it was used by the military to carry artillery." Okay. There's some more portraits. This one is Edward Crow, the Trailblazer. The Trailblazer. Okay. He has a spooky portrait. And this is Tolman, the Mole. How interesting that his title is the Mole, when the man we saved, the journalist who was taking pictures of the monsters, is called Edward Mole. Maybe there's something there. This jar seems to have handgun ammo in it. I'm kind of hoping that if I shoot it once, I can pick up the ammo and we'll be up 7. Oh, perfect. some steam engine, stylishly combining the Arabella and Delilah design styles. Let's press the button on the side. Oh, lovely. Now I sense a puzzle here. I'm not sure where the puzzle actually is, but I think it has something to do with those designs of the carriages and in which order they appear. Maybe it's got something to do with the computer when we get access, but for now, I don't think there's anything left for us to do. Let's save it again for good measure and we'll run on out. Yeah, perfect. Okay. I think what I'd like to do is head back out the front of the theme park and see how Edward Mole is doing. So let's nip on out really quick. Oh, we're back to the horrible rattling. Okay. Yeah, back out this way. I wonder if there's anything we should be worried about out here. Okay, so looks like Edward is sat in our car, and there's also a police file on the bonnet. Was this here all from the beginning and I just missed it? Well, let's examine it now. It says missing persons report, Atlanta Police Department, 215 Lakewood Way, SW, Atlanta, GA, 30315. Name, Edward Crow, 57, male, occupation, company owner / landowner, health condition unknown, last seen by Mr. Tolman, 42, male, last known whereabouts, Crow Country Estate. Yeah, that looks like the Edward Crow we saw in the portrait. Reported by Natalie Crow, 27, female, relation to missing, daughter. Reported to Officer Detective Harrison James, 05061. Okay, and what do you have to say to us, Edward? How are you doing? Says Mara. I'm okay, says Arthur. I'm sorry, Arthur. I was calling you Edward. I'm okay, says Arthur. You can be honest. Your leg hurts pretty bad, right? Yeah, it's throbbing. It feels weird. And you have a headache and feel kind of queasy. How did you know? The thing that hurt you, it hurt me too. Not the exact same one, but still. Do I need to go to the hospital? Mara, just sit tight, alright? You'll be safe here in the car. Well, apart from getting an achievement, we've now found out that Mara and Edward... Sorry, Arthur, I don't know why I keep calling him Edward. Which one is Edward? Mara and Arthur have both been hurt by one of the monsters, and it seems to have had a lasting effect. Okay, so let's think about the plan before we head in. I'm going to run past that creepy looking tall man space for a bronze key. Okay. Perfect. By inserting the key into the post box, the door of the tiny house was unlocked. How interesting. How interesting. It has taken us directly through to some kind of mining operation. Let's take a look through the area. There's a mounted weapon aimed directly at the hole in the middle of the room. There's a valve on top. We can turn it by holding A. I think I'm going to leave it for now because I don't know why I would want to use it. Let's take a look in this trash can. Oh, just trash. A banana peel. Is that in my inventory now? Okay, no. And there's a metal tank that's attached to the mounted weapon. It smells like gasoline, but it's almost empty. We could add some gasoline if we had some, but we don't. And I think that means the mounted weapon must be a flamethrower. It worries me that it's there, and that it's pointed at the hole in the middle of the room. But there's a staff memo here to read as well. It says, "If you can't find the crank handle, it's because I borrowed it. I used it to hide that big egg-shaped ruby inside the haunted manor. Afterwards, I locked the crank handle in a safe in the southeast utility corridor." Okay, crank handle found and egg located. We know where they both are. Alright, I'm trying to skirt around the outside of the room because I don't want... I don't want to get any closer to the hole, and that was perfect timing because as I started saying that, the chain hanging down the hole is shaking. Let's continue. There's a crane mechanism which is what's holding up the chain that is hanging into the central hole. Let's examine. So there's a wheel. I could turn it if I really wanted to. I'm going to leave that for now. I think it might pull the chain up. Oh, we found a secret. The shotgun laser, which was hidden inside a bucket. And here's a page from a magazine which reads, "Larger enemies have more health than smaller enemies. Consider this when making decisions about which ones to fight and which weapons to use." Good to know, good to know. Right. There's also a pipe which is trailing from a machine in the corner and pointing into the hole in the middle. We can examine a valve on the pipe. It's missing the handle, and I don't have any items that would help here. The machine is a large metal tank. There's no clues to what's inside. Okay, let's run over to the other side of the room. There's a wooden crate and a red book. It's a notebook. Let's read it. Tolman's Records, June 3rd, 1986. "We hired a company to start excavating. It didn't go to plan. Problem 1, they spent too long setting up the site. Problem 2, there was already a paper trail forming. The whole point was to do this quickly and quietly and quietly. then the deal breaker, they started asking questions about the roots. They wanted to know the full size and shape of the thing they were excavating. They wanted to know what it was made of. They wanted to know how long it had been there. No deal, obviously, and they had to go. Well, that's mysterious. Let's see if we can peek down the hole in the middle, as much as I don't want to. There's a hole in the ground. I can hear something down there. Yeah, an awful groaning. An awful groaning. Okay, right, I think the time has come to use this crane. Part of me hopes that it's broken and it doesn't work, so that I don't have to find out what is on the other side of that chain. Let's use it anyway.